The following is not meant for children, has been edited by Cute Stuff, and is brought to you by support from Patreon. Hello everyone, and welcome to a Maester Aelix Magic the Gathering Commander deck. Today is one of my favorite decks that I call Karn. It is a colorless Voltron style deck. I chose to make this deck today because of the new Urza's Land announced in Modern Horizons 3, which at the time of recording has not yet released. Keep watching this video for not only the deck list, but for some instruction on how to play this deck well. Also, if you like what you see, please remember to like, comment, share this video around, watch another one, and of course subscribe. It's a little click for you, but a really big deal for me, and I appreciate everyone who does. So let's begin. This deck began out of a desire to build myself a colorless deck, and once I looked over the options for a colorless commander, I saw Karn Legacy Reforged, and I knew I had to build him. And since I hadn't made a Voltron style deck, I also attempted to do that. So let's start at the beginning with the normal mana base. I have Buried Ruin, Demolition Field, Field of Ruin, Guildless Commons, Hall of Tazgin, Inventor's Fair, Mishra's Workshop, Myriad Landscape, Planar Nexus, Reliquary Tower, Rogue's Passage, Sanctum of Ugin, Shrine of the Forsaken Gods, the Myconosynth Gardens, Tomb of the Spirit Dragon, Tyrite Sanctum, Urza's Cave, Urza's Mine, Urza's Power Plant, Urza's Saga, Urza's Tower, Urza's Workshop, War Room, and 5 Wastes. Also, to help with our mana, we're going to use a Chromatic Orrery, Cityscape Leveler, Darksteel Ingot, Dreamstone Hedron, Expedition Map, Hedron Archive, Horizon Stone, Karn Living Legacy, Myconosynth Golem, Skyclave Relic, Slagstone Refinery, Soul Ring, Stone Retrieval Unit, Thought Vessel, Thran Dynamo, Thran Spider, and Witch's Clinic. Now with that out of the way, let's focus on some more important parts of the deck, such as equipment. There's a Brass Squire, Commander's Plate, Fire Shrieker, Hammer of Nazon, Helm of Keldra, Prowler's Helm, Sword of Keldra, and Umbral Mantle. Now alongside these normal equipments, there's a specific category of living weapon equipment, which are an interesting bit of equipment. One of the downfalls of a Voltron deck is that you put all of your eggs in one basket. Living weapons allow this deck to have a little bit more go wide, which is why I use them. What made me choose living weapons was seeing all the Cauldron pieces come together. In this category I use Batterbone, Batter Skull, Bitter Thorn, Nisa's Animus, Bone Horde, Flare Hux, Cauldron Complete, Nettle Cyst, Scytheclaw, Sickle Slicer, Skin Wing, and Strandwalker. Now, the established weakness of a Voltron deck is the reliance on a single creature. I wanted to help mitigate this by having indestructible things and making things indestructible through these 16 cards. Blightsteel Colossus, Cascading Cataracts, Colossus of Arcos, Creepy Doll, Darksteel Axe, Darksteel Citadel, Darksteel Colossus, Darksteel Forge, Darksteel Gargoyle, Darksteel Mirror, Darksteel Plate, Darksteel Sentinel, Manor Gargoyle, Shield of Kaldra, Stuffy Doll, and That Which Was Taken. Now, there are several pieces to making a magic deck work, one of which is card draw, and for that, I use Bonder's Enclave, Mind's Eye, Mystic Forge, Ring of 3 Wishes, Seagate Wreckage, and the Mana Rig. Another important part of a deck is spot removal. Get rid of those pesky things that bother you from other players. Unfortunately, with this deck being colorless and a focus on other areas, there's only 2 cards here. Augmentum Armor and Meteor Golem. There's a mixed bag category of life gain, which has its fingers in other categories such as mana generation and equipment. These cards are Basilisk Collar, Forsaken Monument, Luxodon Warhammer, Pristine Talisman, Resurrection Orb, and Shadow Spear. And of all the noteworthy categories, there's one that I just call Other Cool Stuff. These don't fall into the other categories, but yet help the deck along. And those are Metalwork Colossus, Steel Hellkite, Strionic Resonator, Unwinding Clock, and Worn Power Stone. And last but not least, there is the commander, Karn Legacy Reforged. Karn has 3 important parts to his card. The first is that his power and toughness are equal to the greatest mana value amongst artifacts you control. So even if he's his own most expensive artifact, he's still very strong. But with a lot of artifacts in this deck being more expensive, he can get really ridiculous. At the beginning of your upkeep, you add colorless mana for each artifact you control. And that is the main thing that made me choose Karn as the commander. More about that in a minute. And this mana can't be spent to cast non-artifact spells, and until the end of your turn you don't lose this mana as steps and phases end, which is incredible because most mana disappears, his does not. So make sure you keep track of that through your turn. This commander is the focus of the deck, however, if you find him constantly being struck down, you can put all the good equipment on another creature you control. There's nothing quite as handsome as a Steel Hellkite wearing all sorts of gear. Some strategies and things you want to look out for in this deck. With Karn in play, you have a fantastic opportunity to generate a lot of mana, allowing you to play more expensive artifacts and thus raise his power and toughness. Combo that with some amazing gear and he is near unstoppable. My personal favorite is to equip him with Cauldron Complete. The string of attributes you give him with all of that just is mind-blowing. Basically a game over from that point. Now, I use a lot of Power Stones, and while most of these in Commander are seen as basically useless, not only do they generate mana on their own, but because they're artifacts in play, they generate more mana with Karn. So in this case, I find that the fact you can just make more mana rocks to be incredibly useful. If you can, try to get a combo of Mind's Eye, Pristine Talisman, and Unwinding Clock out. This will allow you to draw a card and gain 1 life on every other player's turn, amongst their other key features. And last but not least, I added the Horizon Stone because it's amazing to allow all the mana that you keep at the end of your turn, mostly from Karn, to be just carried over anytime you like. This is incredibly powerful with Karn, and in general. So with that being said, that should be everything you need to know to make and play this deck. Thank you all for joining me, and I shall see you all on the next one.